Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. Here's a new show and the first session, but it's not the first time we've ever done this. About 50 shows ago, when we first started training our horses for farming, we built this training harness pole, and we showed you how we did that. And then Katie and I, at the time, over at my other property, along a sanded driveway, introduced Eve and Sadie to the training harness pole. And so we're going to introduce them again. It's about a year and a half later. Over here, where they graze, where they've been doing a lot of driving and simulated work, we just want to make sure that both horses totally understand what a pole is, what the feeling is of having a butt rope or a strap of any sort along the side of their ribs, you know, stuff that they aren't used to from riding. We put the harness on almost every day on one or the other horse, so harnessing them up is pretty much uneventful now, which is important because there are a lot of straps, a lot of things they can get hung up in. We worry about the collar staying with the surcingle when we're not using the drive lines and the head stall. So we have devised ways to keep things where they should stay. We've devised ways of putting the tug straps through extensions of the britchin so that they're at the proper level. We like the tug straps and the training harness pole to be above the hocks, but below the hips. I feel from everything I've observed, from everything that I've experienced, and from everything that I've learned, both with Doc Hamill DVDs and watching RFD TV, and my own experience and logic about how a horse thinks and feels and reacts to things, I feel that we can do this safely as long as every piece of equipment is where we want it to be and it stays there. There's always the possibility of a wreck. We've talked about this many times in the past. The most trained of farming horses can have a wreck. And there are all kinds of stories about these wrecks on the Small Farmer's Journal, which I've subscribed to, and I learn a lot from it. So keeping in mind safety is number one. Review and patterns and nothing new, and make sure the environment is not spooky, it's not windy, it's not raining, there aren't a bunch of cars or motorcycles zooming by on the roads around my pastures here. We're going to actually lift this training harness pole again, and if all goes well, we're going to attach it with a quick release to Eve's collar. There's a carabiner right here. I'm going to hold up the other end. Kyle, my cameraman, is going to leave the camera on, and he's going to come back and hold up the back. And we're just going to take a few steps forward toward the camera, watching Eve's body language. And then we may do this with Sadie in a couple days. We want to make sure that we have a couple of extra people, because Sadie's a youngster and tends to spook at things that her mother Eve doesn't even blink an eye at. Eve, as you can see, is almost asleep. Okay, so Kyle, we're going to lift it, but you know, this is something that Eve will see. She sees through her peripheral vision. The hardware will make a rattle noise. We're going to lift it. I'm going to talk to Eve. Angela's going to give Eve confidence by petting her, and we're going to just take it one moment at a time. Okay, let's go, Kyle. It's all right, Eve. Very nice. She didn't become up-headed. She didn't start getting bulgy-eyed. She seems okay, but you see her ears are listening to me. Okay, Angela, let's connect that one quick release, keeping in mind that if there is a spook, that's the quick release that has to be removed, because that will be the only hard connection today. Sometimes it's not as easy to remove a quick release as you think it might be if you're busy with one hand trying to control a spooking horse. But these quick releases are pretty good about if you pull the sleeve down, the connection releases. Okay, good girl, Eve. Still no reaction. A little bit. She's looking around now, still half asleep though. Now, Kyle and I have to kind of walk together, and Angela's going to ask Eve to step up. The choice of those words didn't wake her up, but Angela, whoops, a daisy. Oh, look what happened, Kyle. This has to be repaired. Maybe it never was glued, but you know, before we repair it, Kyle, I have, from my past experiences, realized that this harness pole is too long. Okay. See how far back it is? Yeah. It's too long. So before we glue this, we're going to cut off a certain length. We're not sure yet how much. And then glue it on. You see the way Eve just lifted her foot? You probably saw that with the camera being static on Eve right now. Sadie does a lot of that, and that's why we're going to insist that anything be at a certain height. So it's very unlikely that if she lifts her foot, she'll step over something like a tug strap or a harness pole. Her back left leg is cocked. She is aware. She's kind of listening to me. She's licking her lips. We're connected. Angela knows she has to release the quick release if there's a problem. We're going to listen to Angela. She's going to very briskly and clearly ask Eve to step up, and we're going to step up with her. And if we get 3 or 4 steps forward without concern, we're going to stop and call that our note of resolution today and move on, one very small step at a time. Okay, Angela, it's up to you.
Step up, Eve. Steady. Oh.
See how she veered off a little bit. Kyle, go parallel to her. Good. Okay, that's a problem we've been working on with the pair. If you look at some of my past shows, we're trying to get them desensitized to the butt rope so that they will stay parallel and closer together. Even Eve just now moved away from this harness pole. That will be repaired. We will not hardwire or hook up to anything unless we're quite sure these horses know that they're supposed to be moving together and moving in parallel. Okay, do you want to release the quick release? And let's put it down, Kyle, and together, down. And now Eve, she's kind of okay on stepping on this and making a noise. So we're going to let Angela go forward. Sadie gets kind of spooked when she steps on this PVC or this ABS and makes a noise. So we're going to give Sadie, see how Eve did that? That was okay with Eve. Know your horse. Know how they perceive the world. Know how they perceive what you're requesting. Know how they will perceive sounds and sights and feelings that they're not used to dealing with. And then do it as safely as you can with each horse. And that's what we'll be showing you as we continue to work on getting Eve and her daughter Sadie to ultimately drive and pull in pairs with this simulated harness pole. It's a training harness pole. It is not the pole I would use if we were actually doing farming. The pole I would use if we actually doing farming is going to have to be much stronger. It's going to be in wood or metal, more likely wood. And we're going to build it here at Shadrach Farms. And we may even show you how we do that. But that's the ultimate objective. It could take years. It could take many, many shows. But each day we feel good when we reach our note of resolution, which we just did with Firecrest Easter Eve. Here's our next session with Sadie. Similar to what we did with Eve. Well, we don't even have Sadie harnessed up yet. Remember, she gets kind of confused. She doesn't like to make the sound by touching the PVC. She's not as really nifty about getting her to side pass. Ah, she's investigating. Okay, she saw it. She investigated. That's good. She should be able to move her hind end over. She's just being naughty. Over, over. Let me do it. Over, 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 over. Whoa. Now she's being naughty. I was trying rhythmic pressure. I'm going to get an arm extension. You know, just handling the horses is training. Always. You're always training your horse, no matter what you do.
Can you circle back around?
Yeah, sure. We're trying to just line her up here. We've got a long ways to go to be comfortable with Sadie around this training harness pole. Our main objective right now is to get her to line herself up with it without spooking. And my handyman Everett's here. We're going to measure to see how much we want to cut off and then bolt. Good, good. Whoa. Good, good. That's good. That's a good distance. She's straight. We haven't dealt with the desensitizing today of, you know, if she steps on it kind of thing. We do have to deal with, you know, can we lift it if we want to right now without her spooking? What I'm going to do, Everett, can you bring your tape? I'm just going to slide it on the ground. You want to help me?
You measure from either end, so.
Yes, I know. So we're not going to lift it. We're just going to slide it. So she might get concerned. It's all right. It's all right. Backwards. Back.
You want from back?
Yeah.
Oh.
I watch Westerns all the time. You got to come back again. You see, she was concerned. That's why she moved her feet. Go back around. And the best I can tell when watching and galloping horses in front of a wagon or farm horses, it's only about a foot from the back of the horse's legs to the back of the harness pole. And if you bring her up to the front, good. Now, if we had her collar on, which we hope to do yet today, it would be right here. We'd be lifting the harness pole and hooking to the collar. Everett, very carefully, standing over here, out of strike zone, can you measure from her back leg to the back of the harness pole? It's all right, Sadie. And we're letting her know we've got some tools here. That's 42 inches. Okay, so if we want to make it maybe 24 inches for now, because you can always cut some more.
Wouldn't it be moved back though more anyways? Because that's
possibly a little bit. Yeah. It would be once we put it on the collar. We'll double check before we cut. But show me, Everett, where it would be and show the camera if we made this 24 inches from this white PVC to her back legs, right here. That's a little close.
It's going to come back a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to come back a little. All right. Since, but we'll put her collar and her harness on before we do any cutting. But so right now, our determination is 42 minus 24. Right, that's how much we're going to cut off. Now the glue broke here in the front when we did this with Eve last time, and we have that on camera. Everett explained to me, which I didn't know, is that when you're gluing white PVC, it's a different kind of glue than if you're gluing black ABS. So that's probably why the glue broke. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the correct length, and then we're going to through bolt, being very careful not to have any long bolts to be dangerous in case a horse does spook around this training harness pole. So that's our plan. 24, 34, 44, that's 18 inches we're going to cut off. And how do we cut that off, Everett? With what kind of tool?
Handsaw.
Handsaw. So Kyle, you think you can do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to cut it off from the front. Then we'll through bolt, and that would give us the option of removing the bolt and doing some more rather than gluing. So, you know, we make all of our tools here as best we can. We made this training harness pole. We didn't have specs to go by. I just went by what I've seen, especially in the Doc Hamill DVDs, and now we're dealing with some of the fine details. And I think that's good. Okay, Everett? We know what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to go and harness up Sadie now. Do the same thing. get her lined up here. Each time we line her up, it's one more time she's done it without spooking, which is good. Then we're going to try to lift up the harness pole like we did with Eve in our last session. And maybe we won't connect it to her at first, but we will try to walk a few steps forward. So we have another team member coming here any minute, and that's what we're going to do when the 4 of us are all here ready to go and Sadie's harnessed up. Okay, now we're ready. We've got the harness on. We're ready to try to do what we did with Eve in our last session, and that is very carefully lift this training harness pole. And if she doesn't spook, if Sadie, my youngster, doesn't spook, this is Eve's daughter, then we're going to want to walk forward a few steps because it's going to rattle and it's going to go with her and she might think it's attacking her. We did this with her over a year ago on my other parcel, and I just don't know that there's any memory left from it. So we're just renewing the experience for her as carefully as we can in tiny baby steps. Now, I'm going to lift the front and look at her body language. Always look at body language when you're working with a horse. This is a relaxed body language. But she's a Morgan. If she gets stressed, her neck will probably shoot up. She'll get stiff. Right now, she just looks like a quarter horse, which is what I want when I want relaxation. Morgans can be beautiful, and they can be up-headed, and they can do things that quarter horses cannot do in their gaits and so forth. But Morgans can also be ranch versatile and trustworthy, as long as you have their confidence. And that's what we're building with Sadie for farming purposes today. Okay, so I'm going to lift this. Last time when I lifted it for Eve, it fell off, you see. That was when we realized the glue had deteriorated. By the way, there is a glue you can get that will fit both, but we've decided that we want a through bolt until we're sure we've got the right size, and then maybe also glue it so it can never accidentally come off. Now look, she's still okay, but look at the angle of her head. She's already a little bit more up-headed, looking around. There's a bicycle on the street. She saw that. You know, she's aware of her surroundings, as a horse should be, for their own safety. It's all right. Okay, Everett, now you lift your back end. When he lifts it, there'll be things that clank. It's all right. It's all right. She hears it. I hear it. There you go. There. I expected if she was going to get spooked, that's what she would do. It could have been worse. Let's put it back down, Everett. And Sierra's going to bring her back around. We're going to just do this with repetition until she has confidence that this thing that's rattling, that looks like nothing else she's ever worked with other than a couple times over a year ago, is not going to hurt her. And I'm going to give her every chance to gain confidence so that I can be confident in her, in Sadie. Good, good. Whoa, very nice. Give her reward for the right answer. Let her investigate. I'm going to bring it up. She's trying. You can let her head down. Investigation is the first step to gaining confidence. She's checking it out. Remember, they can't see too well right in front of their heads. She's smelling it. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. She's thinking about moving. Her right leg came up a little bit, then she didn't move. Okay, Everett, pick it up very carefully, and we're going to try to make it parallel to her without scaring her. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. And look what she's doing. This is avoidance. Okay, she says, no, I don't trust this thing. So no way, I've just made the decision, no way are we going to hook up today like we did with Eve, because Eve didn't do all of these avoidance, spooky things.
She didn't walk away, though, this time. She just moved
right, she just moved her hips away, and she's investigating some more, and I don't want it to drop, so I'm holding very carefully. Let's move towards her. Let's see what she does. It's all right. You can move towards her a little bit, Everett. Move. It's all right. It's all right. Remember, they have really good peripheral vision. She sees it. A little more. Now she's going to step away. Wait, wait. Okay. It's all right. And are you petting her, Sierra? Nice. Okay. Everett, move a little bit towards her again. It's all right. We're lining it up as if we were doing some pairs driving here. She's still checking it out. And you know, until we get the lateral motion to stop, whether it be her hips or shoulders or both, we're not going to go forward, because forward is hard. It's important, but it's hard. Good girl. Go a little closer, Everett. Yeah, a little closer. Good. Good, Sadie. There you go. And you know, we always look for our moment of resolution. We try to pick that moment, that second, to remove the pressure when the right answer is given. So very carefully, Everett. Let's go down. Very carefully. It's all right. It's all right. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, we're moving. She says, nah, you're moving. Look at that. We lost that moment.
You want to sit down and bring her around again?
Yeah, sit down and bring her around again. Repetition is the name of the game here in this kind of training. We're not going to force it. We're going to get her to be willing and confident. And then we'll have a using horse that we can trust. Here she comes around again. Even if she happens to touch it, that's a good experience. Does she know where her feet are? Is she avoiding touching it? Probably. That's okay. We're always aware, though, that touching it may spook her. Okay, Everett, let's try again. It's all right, Sadie. It's all right. That's a girl. That's a girl. I'm going to give Sierra a little arm extension here. It kind of confuses horses when they think they're being controlled at the front, and then you're able to touch them behind their drive line like this. They say, whoa, that means I'm supposed to go forward or not supposed to go into it. She's going to move away from the pressure. So Sierra's going to hold on to this and then kind of sneak it onto Sadie's hip if she does start to step. Oh, and here comes Katie. Okay, let's go, Everett. Okay.
Up together?
Yeah, together. 1, 2, and up. It's all right. It's all right. Good. Good. And let's take this moment of resolution. 1, 2, and down. Made some clanking noises. So what we did was we removed the pressure when she was giving us the right answer. And that's the way she's going to learn. And that's all for today. We hope to move forward with Sadie at our next session. Then in the next show, we want to move forward with Eve and Sadie together. Well, we've cut down the ABS of this training harness pole by 18 inches. And we've bolted the front piece here onto the ABS, a through bolt. Now, we've got Sadie ready to step over the back of the training harness. Even if she touches it, we're going to be ready for desensitization techniques if we have to. Whoa! There you go. You pick it up, Angela. Whoa! Nope, 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 nope. Come on. Steady. Whoa! Okay, pick it up. Step forward. 1, 2, 3. Now, okay, let's go forward. Forward with her. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! You see how she keeps pushing through. Try to do it. Put it down. Whoop. Back. 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 A lot of visual block. Whoa! All right, pick it up.
Easy.
Wait a minute. This quick release. No, this isn't even it. This carabiner came off. Bring it closer. Pick it up and bring it closer. Don't be timid. Just be careful. It's all right.
Easy.
I'm going to do this. Put it down. I'm going to go on the other side of the Monty Roberts. Come from the other direction. She's resisting from the other direction. Okay, now she's coming. Whoa! Whoa!
Oh.
Got to come around again. Whoa! Try to get a little bit of respect. Back, 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 back. Good. A little bit of reward for the right answer. Step up. Step up. Whoa. Okay, you guys pick it up with assertion from the middle, Angela. Nah. Nah, she's pushing her hip out. Let's go with her. We can move this thing parallel to her. Put it down. Back. Back. I'm just dealing with the moment here. Luckily, we can move this thing any direction we want. Step up. I'm getting resistance. There, she's still resisting. Whoa. Okay, pick it up from the middle and let's walk 3 steps forward. Whoa.
Easy.
Walk this 3 steps forward. 1, 2, let's keep going. Okay, stop. Whoa, whoa. And down. Okay, you can see that she was resisting the forward motion, worried that this thing was following her. Not a surprise. She's young. She's not confident. She's not as respectful as her mom, as you can see by going to a session earlier on this video showing you how her mom just stood there and moved with us, connected onto this carabiner with the quick release. So we've got a long ways to go. At least we move forward. And I'm hoping during the next show, we'll have her mom next to her who will show her that moving forward is not scary. We could probably will do this if we have enough team members, attach her mom's quick release and not attach Sadie's. Just deal with Sadie's avoidance behavior in a safe manner without involving pulling on her mom, Eve. But eventually, this is a fact, horses tend to learn from other more experienced horses. Eventually, especially because it's her mom, I think Sadie will learn to be confident. See more at www.urbancowgirlchannel.com.